Hey everyone, welcome to the channel where we talk about all things movies. Welcome especially if you're new. If you enjoy talking about movies and staying up to speed on what's in theaters and what's worth checking out, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my reviews when they post. I usually see about 2 or 3 movies a week and review each and every one that I see in theaters. So with that, we're going to get into today's review, which is for My Donkey, My Lover, and I. I just got back from seeing it at the theater, so we're going to talk about it here. Alright, to begin with a brief synopsis, this movie is about a school teacher who crashes her married lover's family vacation and befriends a donkey named Patrick. So I think for this one, again, similar to the movie I saw yesterday, we're gonna go into spoilers, but it's not like a terribly like, oh, be careful to guard yourself against spoilers going into this film. But I just want to talk about the plot, so that means that it's going to be a spoiler review. But we're just going to kind of go through the film and talk to the parts that I found interesting or yeah. So we'll just start off. I thought the movie opened up kind of interesting. It just kind of throws you right into it, and I was kind of amused when it's about the teacher, and it opens up with her and her class kind of giving this performance for the parents of the school, and yeah, I thought it was like a little awkward that she joined in on the chorus as like the focal point instead of just kind of letting the kids sing and shine. I wasn't sure. I think the audience at the like of the parents thought it was kind of weird too because they were like a little delayed in their response. But that was yeah, I don't know. That was a little strange, but I don't know. I think it's things like that that had me making mental comparisons to Jess from New Girl, just as an energetic teacher who likes to get involved and help the kids sing. But yeah, the from there it kind of kicks off though, and then they tell us that and they show us that she's in love with the father of one of her students, and that he's going on this vacation with his family, and she's upset because she wanted to spend that time with him. So I think she definitely comes across as the I don't know like a better term for it, so I hope it's not offensive, but the she comes across as a little crazy. Like the fact that she crashes his vacation for me, yeah, that's a little crazy. I can't relate. I haven't been like in love to that degree to want to do that. So maybe like that's the whole point is, when you feel that way, you don't act rationally and you do come across as a bit crazy. But even at that, yeah, I felt she was a little crazy, just like hauling around her big pink suitcase, getting to like out in the middle of nowhere, and clearly looks like she's not cut out for what she's about to get into. And then, I thought she was actually pretty brave or daring to actually talk about why she was there openly to the rest of the people at dinner later that night. And I feel like she kind of was felt blindsided that like everybody else at the next town over, at the next hostel, already knew about her. But I'm like, of course that's what people are going to talk about. It's like the most interesting thing that some random woman came out here to meet like her lover who's already married. And yeah, of course news is going to travel fast. So that was kind of amusing to watch, and yeah, to see her kind of work her way through that. But yeah, I think for a lot of people they would just keep that part secret, but it was interesting that she wanted to talk about her, that she did talk about it with complete strangers. So, and then yeah, naturally it was amusing kind of seeing her get paired up with Patrick the donkey, and like realizing that she wanted like to treat him kindly and not be harsh with him. I thought that guy that she bumped into on the first day with glasses in like the middle of the day, and he started like yelling at Patrick, and she asked him to stop like 3 times. I was like, man, like I could get wanting to help the first time, but he just then completely ignored her, and I thought he was kind of an asshole about it, doing like yeah, like she asked you, and you're not even like saying, well, like I think this is the way to do it. He was just overriding her and doing it. So that was yeah, he felt like a fairly toxic character, and I was very happy to see her just be like, no, go walk ahead. I want to see you go ahead of me and like go away. So that was good job for her. But yeah, we get to the end of the first day, and yeah, just total mental breakdown, which I felt was just a very genuine moment for her when she just breaks down at the hostel in the evening. But she gets her spirits back up though and continues the next day. That was the other like. Not only is she crashing her lover's like vacation, it's a 6 day hike. Like what were you thinking? Like how did you think you were gonna pull this off? That was the other kind of crazy thing. Although I mean, in the end, she does, and like she has the resilience and the fortitude to do that. But like I don't know, I feel like I would never go like that far out there into something that I've never done for something like that. But again, I can't really relate because I haven't had that experience. So yeah, but then I liked how they ended up getting them to meet up. That it was just her getting lost, and I thought it was fairly organic how she got reception in that one spot, and then that caused her to become distracted and then get lost and naturally turned around, and then she ends up back at the hostel where she was the night before. So I thought, yeah, I liked that part. And I think one of my favorite shots of the film was her waking up in the morning and having, like, piece by piece, and they do this for her, but, like, as the viewer, I was also noticing each animal individually, like, oh, there's the owl. Oh, there's a deer there. Oh, and a rabbit, too. Like, I thought that was just such a beautiful shot, and yeah, to kind of see the nature there, and they were all like comfortable enough to come closer, and you had the fox too. That was kind of cool to see. But yeah, so then super awkward. It made me feel similar to how I sometimes feel watching The Office, where it's just like cringeworthy. You can't really look away, but it's still like, oh, please stop, please don't do that. And when she ends up meeting up with her lover and his family, yeah, totally awkward in all the interactions, like with her and the wife, with her and the daughter, and then with her and her lover. And it was, yeah, that was again, I think, very realistic and organic how those played out, but it was kind of hard to watch. And yeah, I thought it was pretty funny that the donkey was like how intelligent they made the donkey, that he was just like picking up, like he listened to her stories, and he when he saw what is it, Vladimir, I think was his name, then he's just like, nope, that guy's not, let's bray at him. So I had a feeling too that the wife knew, and so I wasn't surprised when she hung back and started calling her out. And then I think very realistically Antoinette had a very appropriate reaction where, I mean, I feel like I would have, you like if you're with somebody who is currently cheating on their wife, how are you that surprised that there also are other women that he's seeing? I like, again, I get that it's a thing that you think like, oh, they're only cheating for you specifically, but like I feel like I wouldn't trust somebody, like if you're gonna cheat on your wife with me, what's to stop you cheating on me with somebody else? So that yeah, I wasn't surprised that that was a thing, according to his wife, and that's how, yeah, things played out. So but I was happy to see that Antoinette was like, okay, yeah, if this isn't real, then I'm not in. Like, so that was, yeah, and then she ended up spraining her ankle. I was like, man, yeah, she was chasing after Patrick way too long. That was definitely an absurd scene. Like, I can only imagine, like, the daughter's got to know what's up too, to like see all of this playing out. It's just got to be super weird. She at least has to know that something's going on. But yeah, so that was yeah, those were interesting scenes there in the middle, and kind of moved the plot along. And it was nice to see her still kind of continue on her trip, even though she sprained her ankle. Although I don't know how she got up on the donkey, they conveniently left that scene out. But yeah, the rest of the film kind of wraps up. I was a little surprised to see her end up. I thought she said she was just going to take like the bus and then the train back, and then she ended up finishing her hike, which I didn't really quite follow how that worked. But I was glad to see in the end that there again, I think she grew a lot as a person over those few days of the trip, and then yeah, actually grew attached to Patrick and wanted to say goodbye to him. So I had a feeling that that was how the movie was going to end, that she's going to bump into somebody, and like the title being My Donkey, My Lover, and I, having kind of a double meaning. And at first you think it's this Vladimir, and then in the end, presumably, although it's left up to interpretation, the last shot is of her, and hopefully, somebody that she grows to love, maybe, maybe not, and Patrick. So yeah, I thought this was overall this was a charming film. I enjoyed it. There were definitely elements that I liked. It did feel maybe a bit longer for an hour and 37-minute film, but it didn't ever have me like bored. But it was it was an entertaining film. I give it a solid B. It's one that I would recommend if you ask me like, hey, should I watch this movie? I'd say yeah, it's a good time, but definitely not one that demands to be seen on the big screen at the theater. I mean, it certainly doesn't take away from the experience, but I think it would be a good streaming movie to check out if it ever hits any of the streaming services. So yeah, that's my review for My Donkey, My Lover, and I. If you've had a chance to see the film, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this review, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of my reviews when they post. Alright, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.